Now, I already know this video is about to be interesting because upon reading on my screen, it says $46,000 on a 2021 Jeep paying $978 a month car note. Lord have mercy.
The reason why I'm sharing this information with you guys, because I don't want you guys to be like 17 thinking about getting your dream car. If you don't have the money for it, don't get it. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, I just want to document my journey, how I'm going to get rid of it, right? So basically, boom, I financed this car. The vehicle in total was $39,000, right? But I was upside down $10,000, basically like $10,000. I traded my old Kia, and I didn't know, the dealership didn't tell me that the Kia's been in a lot of accidents. It hit a motorcycle, it hit a person. Like, they didn't tell me none of this shit when I got the Kia. I'm thinking like nothing's wrong with the Kia. It hasn't been in no car crashes. I asked him, he said no. So I'm thinking everything's okay, which was cap. Everything was not okay. But it is what it is. I financed it for 14. What is it called? It's called APR, something like that. 14%. I financed that for that, and my loan was $46,000, right, y'all? Almost 2 years later, the car is I still have $40,000 on the car. So basically, I've been paying for what? I want to tell you guys, but I don't want to show you guys my VIN number. But like, that's y'all, like, this shit is crazy, y'all. It's crazy. Like, how do I show you guys without telling you guys too much?
Lord have mercy. Now, we talked about this in another video. I don't know if she got gap insurance, but I sure hope anybody that got these newer cars, please get the gap insurance, because if y'all wreck these cars, you talking about upside down right now. You're going to be upside down for real. I done seen it. Gap insurance that came through for a few people I know, but I've also seen it go the other way where they didn't have gap insurance. And guess what? They had to pay all of that money back for that loan up to the amount that was able to get covered for car insurance. But a lot of time it don't cover that gap. And I'm only saying this because this is a newer car. Another thing that stuck out to me that I think is it's not her fault, because I believe she probably just doesn't have the knowledge about cars and all these things, right? Which most of us don't at 18, 19. When I first got my first car, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know much about cars. Only thing I knew was I didn't want a car that was just fancy. I wanted something that was good on gas, the lowest car payment I could get, and reliable. Everything after that, I didn't really know nothing about APRs and all this other stuff. And it kind of took me back because she was trying to figure out what a APR was. She was like, it's a AP something. It was an APR. And I didn't really know much about that either. So I think it kind of was reminiscent on 19-year-old me when I got my first car. But you don't know what you're not taught. So you just don't know what you don't know. Now, $46,000 on a car with a 14% APR today. Oh my, this is like a lot of people's rent is around $978. So that's why my heart is kind of like, oh my goodness. How I really feel, like, take it back. Like, if they'll accept it, take it back. Because, and I know a lot of y'all might say that's extreme, right? Stay with me. Financial experts recommend spending no more than 10% of your monthly take home on your car payment and no more than 15 to 20% on the total cost, such as gas, insurance, maintenance, as well as the payment. Now, I don't know how much money she's making, and I ain't trying to get all in the business, but a little bit. The caption of this even says 19-year-old paying $1,200 for a car note a month. I'm not sure if she went ahead and put everything else into that. I don't know if that's including the insurance or what, but either way you try to cut and slice it, this is a lot of money for a 19-year-old. Now, if she has a high income, great. If she lives at home with her mom, great. If she's married to somebody and they got a lot of money, great. Because otherwise, take it back. Well, no, like, this is a lot. It's a lot. And this is not like, I'm not giving her advice, just how I feel. Like, if I was talking to her, I'd be like, man, take that back take it back. Rebuke it in the name of Jesus. And this is why I say, y'all, car notes will really hold you back. Can you imagine paying this much money a month, especially if you ain't really got like a good job? I just hope she got gap insurance. Accidents happen a lot more when you're like 18, 19, 20 years old. Y'all just don't know how to drive that well yet. And I know a lot of y'all like to be like, oh, I know how to drive. I'm a good driver. And you probably won't get in an accident in that car. Especially if it's your first car. That's why I don't really think it's the best idea to get your quote unquote dream car as one of your first cars or your first car. And I also agree with what she said. Why do you need your dream car at 18, 19 years old? I said this probably a year ago, that you don't need your dream car at 18 or 19. People try to eat me up. Why don't you let people do what they want to do? Blah, blah, blah. This is why. Because the same people that will be egging y'all on to go get a car, to pull up and then be in the comments on your Facebook or your Instagram telling you congratulations, ain't going to be the people that's going to help you in the event that you start to get behind on these car payments, in the event that you might have overdid it a little bit. They don't got no game to give you. They probably don't even know what gap insurance is if you get in an accident. And this is why I think people need to be honest with people. From all I know, she could be a misled youth. For all I know, there is nobody around her giving her the game and telling her this is not the best financial decision to make at your age. For all I know, she could be around a bunch of people who think that this was the best thing that she could have did, because let's be for real. Let's be for real. A lot of people will be applauding the fact that you got a nice car just because of how it looks, y'all. I'm be totally honest. And a few months later, once the new car smell wear off, once you start pulling up and they done got tired of seeing your car, nobody's going to care. Maybe they'll congratulate you on your Facebook post. And, that's cool or whatever. And they'll make you feel like you're so accomplished and doing so well in life. But at the end of the day, who is paying this car note? And the answer for some of y'all out there, 18, 19 years old, I'm going to tell you who's going to pay it. You. And then you still going to complain that groceries is too high. Then some of y'all are going to get a car that's a gas guzzler. And then you're going to say, ooh, gas is too high. And then you're going to be the same people on TikTok saying, ooh, the economy. Oh, well, everybody's struggling. No, you put yourself in a situation to struggle more than the average person, because you may have got a car that you shouldn't have got. And maybe you just were misled and ill-informed. And I'm not saying this to bash her, because when I was her age, I had a high APR too. I didn't have no cosign. Didn't nobody cosign on no loan for me. But I also got a car that was way cheaper. And even back in the day when I got the car, my car was cheaper compared to the rest of the cars on the lot. I didn't get a car that a lot of people would say is sexy. I had a car where I had to crank up the windows manually. And at that time, that was in 2012. We already had windows that you could hit the button and it could go up. But I was so cheap that I said, no, I don't want that one. Give me the one with the crank, because it was cheaper. Even though the other cars on the lot already had Bluetooth, not my car. My car, I had to put a little cassette thing in and connect it to the phone. And it had a wire that every time I would get in there, because I would use it so much, the wire in the aux that connected to my phone in order to make my music play kept on getting fuzzy and it wouldn't play and it kept going in and out. That's what I did because I was that cheap. And I also had a car with a high APR because I was 18, 19. Well, I was actually 19. No credit, no cosigner. So what she's experiencing, and even the whole APR thing, is honestly giving me flashbacks. But the one thing I am grateful for is I actually worked with somebody who told me, get the gap insurance. He would be on a rampage all day, every day about us soldiers getting the gap insurance because we're going to wreck our car. Sure enough, what did I do? A few years later, I got in a wreck. I didn't just get in one wreck. I got in 3 wrecks. And it's not because I can't drive, because only one of them was honestly my fault. But that don't matter. You need that gap insurance. So I want people to understand, when a lot of us are saying the things we're saying, we're not saying it because we're happy that you're experiencing these things. I'm not happy seeing somebody get in this sort of financial situation. And even though I don't know how much money she make, I don't need to know. I seen all I need to see. The fact that the car costs as much as it does and the interest rate got this car payment through the roof, it's enough for me. I think 19 is a little too young for these sort of car payments unless you are making a good amount of money. And like I said, I gave y'all the stats on what is recommended for people to pay.
It's crazy. And it's like, this shit is just like, me struggling right now. My mom doesn't know I'm struggling. My mom is struggling too. And it's just like, it's hard because like, I've been making the ends meet with DoorDash. If it wasn't for DoorDash, I wouldn't even be able to eat. And it's like, this car is on my dad's name and it's on my name. So I don't want to fuck up my dad's credit. My dad's trying to get a house. He just got a house. He sold his house and now he wants to get another house. I don't want to mess up his car, like his credit, because my dad have really good credit. Like, 700. This car is on my name, is my dad's name.
And that makes it even more interesting because she's saying the car is in her dad's name. So essentially, she's on the loan with him. This is the best that y'all could do. Not y'all, I'm not like saying her. I'm saying whoever gave this 14% APR, interest with the co-signer having a pretty okay credit score. It's kind of wild to me. And then she also says she's struggling right now, and I actually respect the fact that she's out here trying to figure a way to make money. She is out DoorDashing, but I also am just like, since your dad co-signed on this car, I'm trying to understand, were you like, Dad, I need this car, this is the one, and like, was there an agreement that he was going to pay half? Because I'm trying to understand, and this is no shade to her father, how he may have seen this loan and co-signed on this loan for his daughter, knowing the monthly payment. Because I would think that he might have some sort of awareness of how much money she's making and the fact that she's only 19 years old. I'm trying to piece it together. Now, I'm not saying this is a case with her father, but I'm saying a lot of us, and I say us because that includes people like me. Our parents may have said that was a good APR. They might have said, oh, okay, that's a nice car, and then kind of turn the blind eye to the fact that this is about to really do you in. And I hate to see that she's struggling, that she's going to have to DoorDash, that she's going through things. But I am glad that she shared the journey, because I don't think what she is experiencing is too far off for a lot of young people. Now, I know a lot of y'all might be like, you can't get a car for under blah, blah, blah in today's society. It's gonna run you blah. Let me tell you something. It ain't gonna run you $46,000. I don't care what y'all talking about. That is not the minimum for a car. The car in question right now is a 2021 Jeep. Now, I don't know if she do off-roading, but I'm trying to understand why a Jeep would have been the best choice. You know what I'm saying? Let's be realistic here. I know there's a lot of Jeep lovers out there. A lot of people's cars right now getting repoed. A lot of people can't afford to keep up with inflation, and they try to keep these dream cars, and it ain't gonna work. It's gonna have to give. Either you have to make more money, which I applaud her for doing, or they gonna come get that car. And I know a lot of people don't like used cars. You better get used to liking it if you don't like high car payments like this, because I'm not even saying she got a brand new Jeep. We don't know, but just get you something that's going to get you from point A to point B. The car is not to flex. It don't have to be your dream car. You gotta wow, y'all. Wait until you can really afford to do it. I'm not saying never do it. I'm saying it needs to make sense with your pockets. And who knows, in 10 years, this might not be nothing for you to do, because you might have made so much progress that you can afford to get your dream car. 18, 19, this is the building stage. This is the time where y'all need to be focused and trying to invest, trying to save, trying to climb into whatever career you're trying to get into, trying to figure out how you're going to make it in this world. This is not the time to be trying to get no car to flex on people. And I'm not saying that's what she was doing, but I'm just saying, I know a lot of people was living, like I said in the last video, like the big timers. Actually, roll the flashback, because I don't want to say it again. I remember when the big timers came out with the song Still Fly, you know, when he was talking about how he didn't have no job, but he stayed fly, can't pay his rent, but all his money spent, out a quarter tank of gas in his new E-Class, but that's all right, because he's gonna ride. You know, y'all remember that song? Some of y'all took that song and really applied it to real life. It was a song. Why do you want to be broke and flex like you're not broke? That's wild to me. Some of y'all are doing that in real life. Now, I don't want that for nobody, but y'all got to be honest with yourselves now. But y'all, let me know what you think about this down below. And tell me, what is the highest APR that you have seen, and how much is the highest monthly payment that you have seen on a car? But we have to start making better decisions today in order to have a better future.